Z's arrival on campus. Z's heart raced as he stepped onto the sprawling college campus, his eyes darting from the towering brick buildings to the throngs of students milling about. The crisp autumn air carried whispers of excitement and possibility, but beneath it all, Z felt a familiar tingle of anxiety creeping up his spine. He couldn't shake the feeling that something was different about this place, about him, as if the very act of arriving on campus had awakened something dormant within. Clutching his worn backpack like a lifeline, Z navigated through the sea of unfamiliar faces, each one a potential friend or foe in this new chapter of his life. The weight of his family's mysterious disappearance and the strange abilities he'd always tried to ignore pressed down on him, making even the simplest interactions feel like a tightrope walk. As he approached his dorm building, a sudden wave of dizziness washed over him, bringing with it flashes of emotions that weren't his own: fear, excitement, homesickness, emanating from the students around him. Shaking off the disorienting sensations, Z took a deep breath and pushed open the heavy doors of his new home. The cacophony of voices, laughter, and music assaulted his senses, threatening to overwhelm him. But as he stood there, on the threshold of his new life, a small spark of determination ignited within him. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever secrets his bloodline held, Z was ready to face them head-on and carve out his own path in this strange new world of college and hidden powers. Meeting Ramon, Joe, and Lara, Z's mind buzzed with a cacophony of thoughts as he navigated the bustling college campus. The faces of countless strangers blurred together, a dizzying kaleidoscope of new beginnings and untold stories. Amidst the chaos, three figures suddenly snapped into focus, their presence cutting through the noise like a beacon in a storm. Ramon, Joe, and Lara, their names would soon become as familiar to Z as his own heartbeat. Ramon's easy grin and laid-back demeanor instantly put Z at ease, while Joe's quick wit and sardonic humor sparked a kinship that felt both unexpected and inevitable. Lara, with her fierce intelligence and no-nonsense attitude, completed their unlikely quartet. As they fell into conversation, Z felt a strange tingling at the base of his skull, a whisper of something different. He pushed the sensation aside, focusing instead on the warmth of newfound friendship and the intoxicating promise of belonging. Little did Z know that these three would become not just his friends, but his anchors in the storm that was about to engulf his life. As laughter and shared interests wove invisible threads between them, Z couldn't shake the feeling that something greater than chance had brought them together. The air seemed to crackle with potential, with secrets waiting to be unveiled. For now, though, Z allowed himself to be swept up in the simple joy of connection, blissfully unaware of the extraordinary journey that lay ahead. First experiences of college life, Z's heart raced as he stepped onto the sprawling college campus, a whirlwind of emotions swirling within him. The air buzzed with the excited chatter of fellow freshmen, their faces a mix of anticipation and nervousness that mirrored his own. As he lugged his overstuffed suitcase towards the dormitories, Z couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary was about to unfold. Little did he know just how right he was. The first week of classes hit Z like a tidal wave of information, social interactions, and newfound independence. He found himself navigating through a maze of lecture halls, trying to decipher complex syllabi, and attempting to remember the names of the countless new faces he encountered. Late-night study sessions in the library and impromptu pizza parties in the dorm lounge became his new normal, as he slowly began to find his footing in this strange new world. It was during one of these late-night gatherings that Z first met Ramon, Joe, and Lara, a trio of equally quirky and intriguing individuals who would soon become his closest friends. As they swapped stories and shared their hopes for the future, Z felt a sense of belonging wash over him. Yet, even as he reveled in the camaraderie, a nagging whisper in the back of his mind reminded him of the secrets he carried. The mysterious disappearance of his parents, the strange abilities he'd always tried to ignore, and the growing sense that college life might be more supernatural than he'd ever imagined. Strange sensations and unexplained occurrences, Z couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. It started with little things: a sudden chill in a warm room, shadows that seemed to move when he wasn't looking directly at them. He'd catch glimpses of strange, swirling patterns in the corner of his eye, only to find nothing there when he turned his head. At first, Z chalked it up to the stress of starting college and being away from home for the first time. But as the days went by, these odd occurrences became more frequent and harder to ignore. One particularly unsettling incident happened during his first week of classes. As Z sat in the crowded lecture hall, he suddenly felt a wave of unease wash over him. The professor's voice faded into a distant hum, and the room seemed to darken. For a moment, Z could have sworn he saw tendrils of shadow creeping along the walls, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. His heart raced, and a cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Just as quickly as it had come, the sensation vanished, leaving Z bewildered and shaken. He glanced around, but none of his classmates seemed to have noticed anything unusual. These strange experiences weren't limited to visual phenomena. Sometimes, Z would hear whispers on the edge of his consciousness, too faint to make out words but unmistakably present. Other times, he'd feel a sudden surge of emotion, fear, anger, or exhilaration that seemed to come from nowhere and disappear just as quickly. Z couldn't help but wonder if these occurrences were somehow connected to the gaps in his memory about his family history. As he tried to make sense of it all, little did he know that these unexplained events were just the beginning of a journey that would unravel the mysteries of his bloodline and change his life forever.